What's up, my creators? I am back, and we are going to talk about how to make beautiful, stunning wall art using my favorite all time um, creation tool, which is Canva. Canva is so wonderful, and I'm going to show you how you can get the most out of it right now. So sit back, relax, grab your notepad, take some notes, and let's get right into the video. All right, creators. So you see, I am on Etsy, and these are canvas wall art designs that are on Etsy. And if you take a look here, the numbers in the parentheses, this is the number of reviews that this particular store has gotten, or each particular store has gotten. And you can see they're pretty high. And again, this is for canvas wall art. So this is just to show you that these items are definitely selling. You just have to decide what your niche is going to be and what type of art you're going to sell within that niche. But they are definitely selling because the number of reviews is only a fraction of the actual number of sales that a company or a store has gotten. So, I would advise you just kind of take a look around on Etsy, see if you see a store that is selling the same type of art that you would be interested in selling, and just be encouraged by that. But in the meantime, look at this. I'm on page 2 and we're still selling. This is 6.1 thousand reviews. So you can be encouraged that they are definitely selling for sure. So let's get started and let's jump into Canva so I can show you how you can make your designs for your canvas wall art. So are you ready? Let's get going now. All right, my creators. So we're about to create our workspace for our art work. Now, one of the things that I'm always telling you is that you have to know the size that you need to design your image in for your particular print on demand item. So the item size for a t-shirt is definitely different than the item size for a very large wall art. I was on printify.com and I happen to know to create a 60 by 40 piece of wall art, our pixel size needs to be 18,000 by 12,000. So if I type in 18,000, it's not going to work, and I'm going to show you a workaround for it. Okay. So that's too large. Canva won't let you make anything that large. So we're just going to divide this because we can always make it larger when we download. So let's divide this by 3. So that would be 6,000 by 4,000. And now we can create our new design. So we're going to create our new workspace. So we have our perfect workspace, which is highlighted by this purple box here. When you highlight over the space, you see the box comes up. So I am in my folders, and this is under projects, by the way. If you are new and don't know where to find your folders, you always go to projects, which is on the left-hand side right here. And when you click on that, you will find all of your different folders that you have created. So I'm in my folders, and these are backgrounds that I have created. So I'm going to choose this one in particular, and I'm going to actually click on the 3 dots here, and I want to set this image as my background. All right, my creators. So now we're going to pull in some elements onto this background, and I'm in another folder. These are images, AI images that I created myself. And I think I'm going to use these. These are some of the most recent ones that I have created. And I think the theme of this is going to be maybe a girl's trip or something like that. All right. So you see this image. I don't want this background because I want to use our background. So I'm going to click on here. I'm going to do 2 things. I want her hair to be complete at the top. So I'm going to go to edit while I have the image selected. And I'm going to use the magic expand tool. And I'm going to expand this upward. And let's see what Canva gives us. So it's scanning the image now. And in a minute, it's going to give us some options to choose from. So here are the 4 options. I think they all look pretty good. So this is the first option, which is here. It looks good. This is the second. Doesn't look a lot different. This is the third. They all look about the same. So I don't think it really matters in this case which one we use. So I'm just going to click on the first one and I'm going to choose done. And from here, I am now going to attempt to remove the background. So it's scanning it again, and now it's removing the background. Did a perfect job. Okay, so now I'm just kind of cropping the edges somewhat. All right, let's move this over a little. And let's make her larger. Okay, perfect. And now let's go back to our other images and let's upload some more. So let's add her. And I think we're going to have to do the same thing. I'm going to have to do the magic expand on her. So I'm just going to add a couple of more images and do the same thing that I did with the first one. Okay, so we have 3 women who are on their way on a trip, a girls' trip. So this is adorable. So now we can start adding other items or elements to this particular design. I'm on the Elements tab and I'm going to type in, I love gold. I don't know what it is, but I just love the color and the brightness. And I think gold in particularly would really go well with this particular design. So I'm going to choose gold specs and let's see what comes up. We're going to add some texture and dimension to the design. So now I'm going to click on see all. It's amazing how much depth can be added to a design by just adding some background behind the images. So because we have made these individual images and it's not flat on top of this image, in other words, it's not made on the background, we are able to put different elements behind here, which is really, really nice. So here is one. Kind of make that a little larger. We go to position. Well, first of all, let me duplicate it by clicking on the double plus sign because I'm going to try to put one behind each one of them. All right, here's the second one. Yeah, it'll add some depth. Okay, so now I'm going to click on the layers tab and I'm going to hold my shift key because I want all 3 of them. And I'm just going to grab them and move them behind the women. So now they're behind, okay? And we're just going to play around with moving some things around here. Let's flip this one. Yeah, so, okay, we can make her a little larger and also pull her over just a tad bit. I'm going to make this image a little brighter. It's kind of dark, just a pinch, not too much. Yeah, there we go. Actually, I did have to make it a lot brighter. The reason I'm doing that is because these other women, it's a little more vivid. So I want hers to blend in the same way. So let me click back on position because the one on the left doesn't seem to be, okay, yeah, it is, it's on top of the glitter. So we are good with that. So you can just keep designing and adding elements if you want. Let's put on here gold star. And let's see what comes up here. You can add some other elements. I don't really like that one. I like more for this particular design. I like more of the, I don't know, kind of sparkly type effects. See, it just adds a little something there for me. Now, you could be different. You might not want that on there. So you don't have to. That's the beautiful thing about when you create your own designs. You can put stuff wherever you want to put it. So that's what makes it unique to you. All right, so I think we are about done with this design. I might want to put one more element. I'm extra. What can I say? Okay, so let's type in gold border. This is not exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going to find what I'm looking for. All right, I typed in gold rain. And let me click on these three dots to see what this says. Yeah, garland. Okay, so that works well. So let me click on here. And I want this to be also behind the women. I'm going to make it larger. Now we're going to go to position and we are going to click on the layers tab. It's already clicked. And we're going to just grab this and move it behind um, the women and maybe behind the gold glitter as well. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now we have a beautiful piece of artwork that you can design, that you can upload. I'm sorry. You can download it from Canva and we're going to upload it onto Printify and I want to show you how. All right, creators. So I want to take you back to when we first started, and I told you that the size in pixels that we needed to create this design was 18,000 by 12,000, but that was too large for Canva. It would not allow us to create something that large, so we had to make it smaller. So I made it 6,000 by 4,000 pixels. So now we have to make up for that. So when we download by clicking on share, we're going to click on download here and we're either going to save it as a PNG or a JPEG. We're going to start with the PNG because PNG files are crisper, all right, and clearer. So we're going to upsize this to 3, okay? And now we're going to download this. This will make the file larger in size and resolution. So it's downloading now. And then I'm going to hop over to Printify and show you how it would look if you were selling this as a piece of canvas wall art. So we are here on printify.com. And if you can see on the screen right here on the top right hand side, it's a little, it looks like like a ruler and a pencil. These are the edit tools for Printify, and this is where you would select your different variants, right? So this particular print on demand item has a lot of different sizes you can choose from, but as we talked about earlier, I wanted to make a very large size canvas and I was showing you how. So this is where I chose the 60 by 40. So let me close that. And then also, if you look over here to the left, look to the left where it says print file requirements. This is where I found that the image size had to be 18,000 by 12,000 pixels. And also they recommend 300 DPI. Now, if we load the image and it says 250 DPI, that's also okay. You only have to really worry if your print on demand company, whether it's Printify or Printful or Gelato, whoever you use, they will give you a warning. I've not used Gelato specifically myself. I have used Printify and Printful, and they will give you a warning. So now I'm going to click on my device and I'm going to upload the image that we just downloaded from Canva, and Printify is going to start uploading that image. So Printify would not upload the file, which tells me, and usually it'll tell you that the file is too large, but if it doesn't upload, more than likely the file is too large. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to reduce the size. Remember, we changed it to a 3. We're going to reduce it and maybe change it to maybe 2, or we can change it to a JPEG file, which is a smaller file. It doesn't take up as much room. So we're back over in Canva, and I'm just going to download this file again, but we're going to change the size. Instead of 3, we're going to make it, let's try 2 and see what happens now. So let's download, and then we'll go back over to Printify and try it again. So I think it just didn't like the file because it was just a little too big. Creators, the PNG file was just too large because this is already a big file. It's 60 by 40. And actually it's because I stretched it across the entire canvas frame. And you can see right here, I chose print on sides. So it stretched it out. So now it's 63 inches by 42 inches. So a PNG file was just too large. So I had to go back into Canva and download it as a JPEG. And I increased the size to 3. So the JPEG file works better for larger sizes. If you're going to use larger sizes to sell, you probably may have to use a JPEG image more than likely. But this turned out absolutely beautiful. So now let's take a look at the previews of it. I love this. This is the side view, and you can see over here on the left-hand side, it's gorgeous. So you could use these as your mock-up photos in Etsy and whatever other platform you may be using. You could right-click on these and choose Save As, and you could download them to your computer. So if you just click on each one, you will see how it looks in context with furniture in a home. This is so pretty. And so we built this with Canva. So Canva is absolutely wonderful to use for making your designs for your print on demand. All right, my creators, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you got something from this video. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I do read all of the comments. Remember, when you comment, make sure it's an original comment directly to me. When you comment on someone else's comment, I don't necessarily see those. But if you make an original comment, I will reply to your comments. Thank you again for joining. And remember, the more we create, the less we hate. And I will see you in the next video.